I've been experimenting with using AI to design and build apps for the last couple of years. In this demo, I'm going to share how I used AI to build a custom design tool for my app project, Orbis. Orbis is a music player app I designed to play the music you already own. It's not a streaming service or anything like that. It's a simple, old-school music player with modern sensibilities. So early in the project, I knew that I wanted to include visualizers. So I started, as I usually do, with research. So I went and looked for inspiration to see what other people were doing. What I found is not many people were including visualizers in their apps, but I did find plenty of examples of things that I could use as inspiration. Then I categorized the different types of visualizers. And once I had the audio engine established in the app, meaning I had a tap for the data, I then began to iterate with the AI on the first pass at the visualizers until I had a really good starting point. From there, I needed a faster way to kind of iterate and experiment and try different things and just to fine tune exactly what the visualizers should look like. So that's when I started to work with the AI in order to build this tool. All right, so here we are in the settings, and you can see at the top of the settings I have some normal settings that any user will see, and then below that I have tools I built for myself during development that only I will see when it's published. So we've got the including like a tool for like memory leaks, which is something I was dealing with previously, and then there's a visualization test tool here you see at the bottom. Let's open that up. So basically we see the visualizer here in the middle. It's meant to sort of mimic what you can see here in the full player, right? So we got the area for the visualizer, and then along the top we have the different types of visualizers here. And then basically what I did is I worked with the AI to develop these different sliders to let me kind of tweak the various variables to kind of figure out exactly what I wanted it to look like, including some like filters that I created as well, which I'll show you in a minute. So it includes things like sensitivity, which you can see here kind of like makes it larger or smaller. It also increases like how quickly it goes up and down, I believe. So you can make adjustments to that, and then you can also adjust the smoothing, which is like, that also is the kind of intensity. You see, if I smooth it down a lot, it barely moves at all, or you can go really high, or no smoothing, it's super chaotic. So you can adjust that. I believe I had like 0.2 or something like that. I don't recall what musical optimization is, but that's another setting. And then we have we can look at the number of bars here. Obviously that's kind of important, so you can go really high. I believe I kept it closer to like 32 or something like that, so you can adjust there. And then you can also change the fill, like how wide the bars are here by sliding this. What else we got? Do the minimum height, which again you can sort of like adjust how tall these are, and then a filter here. So a filter changes like how the frequency, like how far the frequency goes up. And in this case, it's a high pass filter. So a high pass filter really only affects the low frequencies, right? Like almost like a subwoofer frequencies. And so I'll turn that on. And so the lower frequencies that you see on the left side of this visualizer, and I can basically choose like where it should roll off, where the cutoff should start. So you can see here I can slide that over. You can see that going down. I can also change the intensity of that filter. So you can kind of roll it off different ways. The idea here is basically to make it look less like tilted. So in general, like the lower frequencies look super high, so you can kind of tweak that to look visually pleasing. And then I was experimenting with, whether or not I was using where the audio data was coming from. Was just left channel, just right channel? If I was averaging the two together, or if I was using like true stereo, which is more, true stereo is a little more relevant when I'm looking at the mirrored bars, because otherwise, if I do left, it's symmetrical. Average is also symmetrical, and then true stereo means that, you know, like I think it's the top part is the right channel, the bottom is the left channel, I believe. Anyway, you see it kind of does both there. I was experimenting with, you know, doing metal or not metal. I chose just to use metal everywhere. And there's a high frequency you can use as well. Different slopes. There's another filter here I created for, I think this was like, here, let me turn this up. You can see how it peaks up there in the higher frequencies. I think I was trying to deal with some weird like mountain looking things. So I created this filter to kind of be able to adjust that as well. And that includes like a PQ kind of filter as part of that. Yeah, so as you can see, there's a whole bunch of different settings here. Let me go into the landscape. This works with all the same, well, most of the same filters I showed you previously. Yeah, this one also includes a way to flip the, oh, here is reverse the flyover. So here you can see it's almost like going away from you. You can flip that over so it's going towards you. And this is what I ended up doing, going towards me. And then there's a way to, yeah, I was trying to like figure out like what's the angle I want. So you can change the angle, and then, you know, there's a pitch and there's a zoom, so you can zoom in quite a bit if you want. So you can see how like I could use this tool to kind of interact with it and like figure out exactly what I wanted to do in real time, rather than having to go back and forth with the tool and say, you know, try this and try that. I could just go in here and just change the different sliders and see how that looks. So that was super, super helpful.